are illnesses in which people experience severe disturbances in their eating behaviors and related thoughts and emotions. People with eating disorders are typically preoccupied with food and their body weight because of an intense fear of becoming overweight and fat and an accompanying pursuit of thinness, which can be relentless and sometimes deadly. In this video, we will be looking at obesity, which is not an eating disorder or a psychiatric condition in the DSM. However, its prevalence is rising at an alarming rate. So, we will be looking at obesity and bulimia nervosa, anorexia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. So, binge eating disorder was a new addition to the DSM 5, which was previously given provisional status in the DSM 4. I hope that this video gives you insights about obesity and eating disorders, and with information provided, you will be able to help yourself or someone that is in need. And with that, let's get right into it.
Food alone give me comfort. It alone can help me. Me used to think say it alone did give me joy and peace. Cause when my tummy full, just want somebody come run me so till. When me go on the road, them call me fluffy ever so nice and thick. But God know I could have sweat like a pig. But say no sir, I need to change. Look at me now, still thick and thing, beautiful as ever. Find a better way to de-stress the pain. Obesity is not a nice thing. Closer to your grave than anything. Be your own motivation and Lego them style day. Cause you don't want to in a life like that. Can you imagine make national news say obesity killer? No. Time to change. Be an example to the reduction of obesity from rising in your country.
I am bulimia nervosa. Episodes of binge eating, vomiting, purging, fasting, and overexercising. I am a woman who's trying to make it out there in society, trying to adapt to everything that is trending. Bulimia nervosa. I am that individual that uses self-induced vomiting. I am also that individual that indulges in excessive fasting and overexercising. The recurrent episodes of binge eating, the recurrent inappropriate competitor behavior.
Hello, my name is Anorexia. I will make you an obsessive freak. You will hate yourself. I will make you hungry and weak. I will turn your meat to bones. You will lose excessive weight. You must be super skinny. Food you must hate. Skinny is perfect, so your diet is strict. You live struggling because you are an addict. Do not eat breakfast. The scale numbers matter. Do not eat lunch. Do not get fatter. I promise to make you beautiful. I am your best friend. I will make you skinny, even if your life might end.
Binge eating disorder is the most common eating disorder in Jamaica. People with this disorder eat a large quantity of food in a short time frame called binge eating episode. These episodes occur at least once a week for several months. Binge eating disorder is different from bulimia because people with bulimia binge eat, but then they purge the food afterwards by forcing themselves to throw up, while people with binge eating disorder don't purge and usually don't restrict food intake afterwards. Binge eating disorder is often associated with other psychological conditions. People who develop binge eating disorder may be depressed and usually binge eat as a way to make themselves feel better. They may have low self esteem, have negative views on their weight or body image, or have other unhealthy eating habits such as unreasonable rigid meal plans. While binge eating is the main symptom of binge eating disorder, not everyone who binge eat has binge eating disorder. So people who have binge eating disorder may eat so much they feel sick afterwards, or they may eat a large amount of food even though they don't feel hungry. Binge eating episodes can be planned or unplanned. A person with this disorder may begin eating a typical meal but then lose control and eat much more than they anticipated, or they plan a binge eating episode in advance by eating special food and allowing themselves to binge only at a certain time. The result of these binge eating episodes is weight gain. Binge eating disorder is diagnosed by reviewing a person's medical and eating history. A person who has binge eating disorder, if they have at least one binge eating episode per week over several months. The severity of binge eating disorder can be characterized by the number of binge eating episodes per week, with mild binge eating disorder being 1 to 3 episodes per week, and extreme binge eating disorder being 14 episodes or more per week. Now that we have looked at the types of eating disorders, let's get into the criteria and the treatments. Let's begin with anorexia nervosa. So to be diagnosed with anorexia nervosa, according to the DSM-5, the following criteria must be met. Number 1, restrictive energy intake resulting in significantly low body weight. Number 2, intense fear of weight gain or becoming fat or resistant behaviors that prevent weight gain. And number 3, body image disturbance or resistance, lack of recognition of the seriousness of their current low body weight. Now let's look at bulimia nervosa. So the criteria for bulimia nervosa is 1, recurrent episodes of binge eating. Binge eating characterized by both eating an objectively large amount of food, for example, larger than most people would eat in a similar period or time and under similar circumstances. Or 2, a sense of loss of control over eating during the episode. Now, a recurrent inappropriate compensatory behavior in order to prevent weight gain, for example, self-induced vomiting, misuse of lactatives, and other medications. Number 3, binge eating and inappropriate compensatory behaviors both occur, on average at least once a week for 3 months. Number 4, self-evaluation is unduly influenced by body shape and weight. And number 5, the disturbance does not occur exclusively during episodes of anorexia nervosa. Now we'll move on to binge eating disorder. Now the criteria according to the DSM-5. Number 1, recurrent episodes of binge eating, and that includes eating definitely more than most people would eat in discrete 2 hours period of time, and sense of lack of control during the episode. Number 2, 3 or more of the following, and these include eating much more rapidly than normal, eating until uncomfortably full, eating large amounts when not physically hungry, eating alone because embarrassed by how much eating, or feeling disgust, depressed, or guilty afterwards. And number 3, marked distress regarding binge eating. Number 4, on an average at least once a week for 3 months. And number 5, no compensatory behaviors such as bulimia nervosa. Eating disorder treatment depends on the particular disorder and the symptoms. It typically includes a combination of psychological theory, which is psychotheory, nutrition education, medical monitoring, and sometimes medications. Some of the psychological theories that would be included is cognitive behavioral theory, family-based theory, and group cognitive behavioral theory. For nutrition education, persons are usually encouraged to work towards a healthy weight, practice meal planning, establish regular eating patterns, and take steps to avoid dieting or binge eating. Move on to medications. So medications cannot cure eating disorder. They are most effective when combined with psychological theory. Antidepressants are the most common medications used to treat eating disorders that involves binge eating or purging behaviors. But depending on the situation, other medications are sometimes prescribed. Taking an antidepressant may be helpful, especially if you have bulimia or binge eating disorder. Antidepressants can also help reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, which frequently occurs along with eating disorder. It is important to note that you will also need to take medications for physical health problems caused by eating disorders. Hospitalization may be necessary if you have a serious physical or mental health problems, or if you have anorexia and are unable to eat or gain weight. Severe or life-threatening physical health problems that occur with anorexia can be medical emergency. In many cases, the most important goal of hospitalization is to stabilize acute medical symptoms through beginning the process of normalizing eating and weight. So in closing, eating disorder and a joke. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of your health. So if you know, say you have one of the eating disorders, or you know somebody who might have the symptoms of eating disorder, get help. Nobody sit down and wait. We are all here to help. Seek help before it's too late.